Man, a good rivalry is awesome, isn't it? Took me a day and a half, 2 days. I don't know when they play. Monday. It's Thursday now. I haven't been able to talk about this until now, but that's because I am a true Michigan fan. And goddamn, it shook me. It shook me all night long that Ohio State won the national championship. So here's my thoughts on winning the national championship. Listen to AC/DC a little longer on the channel here on the radio. You shook me all night long, man. Ohio State won a title that they wouldn't have been in last year in a 4-team playoff. They didn't even win the Big Ten or beat Michigan in Columbus and finished with more losses than Oregon, who split a series with Ohio State. It was a title for Ohio State, but it was nothing like Michigan's the year prior, who got in a 4-team playoff and beat Alabama and then beat Washington, who was another undefeated team at the time, to go undefeated after beating Ohio State once again. So 4 wins for Michigan. That third win for Michigan last year at home vaulted Michigan to a 15-0 national title run. Ohio State went, 13-2? 14-2? 14-2? To me, these past 2 national title winners are rated differently. Michigan had a narrow path, no money. The coach was driven out of town by outside forces. Everything was against Michigan, and they won it all. Ohio State, this year, lost 2 games, but because of playoff expansion, they got a spot. Ohio State, once in, did great versus Tennessee, Oregon, and Notre Dame, but only one of those teams would have been in last year's playoff, and that's Oregon. They didn't have to play them once again for the third time for the, what do they call it, a tiebreaker. So Ohio State might send as much to the NFL as Michigan has over the last 4 years. Year by year, Michigan has been at the tops. No one other than Georgia, I think, has sent more over the last 4 years. Went like 11, 7, 12, 13, and then who knows what the hell this year's going to be in the playoff or in the drafted category for Michigan. But it will be interesting if their depth can match what Michigan has coming back after Ohio State sends that type of production to the NFL. We shall see. Plus the additions at quarterback for Michigan and the offense that Michigan procured, the offensive linemen, shoring gaps everywhere, is going to be awesome. Mikey Keene and Bryce Underwood, the top player in the nation, who happens to be a quarterback, the 10, 11, $12 million man, depending on who you ask, where you look. Michigan procured that guy. So regardless of Ohio State winning the title this year, I'm glad that a team from the Big Ten that Michigan beat won the chip, because the North is about to rise again. Fuck the SEC. I'm glad it was Ohio State and not one of those teams. I'm glad it was Ohio State and not Notre Dame. Fuck independence. Join a damn conference. So I am glad that Ohio State ended up winning this championship. I picked them to do so over Notre Dame after it was set. And they bought themselves a nice little championship, but you cannot say it was as good as Michigan's last season, Ohio State fans. You just can't say it. You can't do it. You got 2 losses. One of them to Michigan. So there's my thoughts. Took me a while, and it's off the whim here as well. Got other videos coming up that I've been working on, but I had to acknowledge Ohio State winning the national championship. And they did that, and you can't take it away from them. There is an asterisk, though. There's an asterisk, just like Ohio State put on our national championship last year. They can't just take it with class. Neither can I. You know, it's a two-way street. Although I do acknowledge your national title, I acknowledge our national title. If you don't acknowledge ours, then you can't acknowledge yours. It's kind of pitiful. 2 losses.